So, if you haven't guessed by now, we are casting the match between our, in the upper left, our green Protoss player, Dargox Daddy, and in the bottom right, in the yellow trunks, we have RNG's Ego, a Terran player. So, yeah, these two have already done some banter real quick, and while they banter, I'm going to go ahead and lower the sound. Oh my god, it's so loud. So let me know if it's an acceptable level or if you can't hear anything in game. But yeah, talking about the weather. This is, of course, Echo LE. And I'm using the wrong interface. I should be using WCS, so I apologize for that. But we have a probe scout here. Not a lot to say about this map. We, of course, blah, I'm all tongue-tied tonight. But we have a pretty decent rush distance. Looks like both players are going to be doing very typical Protoss Terran stuff. Terran's going to be taking his natural and moving off his barracks. He's probably going to be building the next step in his tech tree, a factory. And in the upper left, Protoss is grabbing his second, or Ego is grabbing his second gas. And he's doing a one-gate expand. Pretty safe. Wonder if this Reaper is going to be able to pick off any drones, but the Mothership Core is, of course, here to defend. You know, the Mothership Core is really weird in the Legacy of the Void beta, from what I've seen so far. It's just not very good about helping to defend the many expansions that everyone's taking, if it gets to that point of the game. AK Diley says, you're not secretly a Milwaukeean, are you, Fonz guy? Yeah. Those are the rules I typed up actually earlier today. Be cool like Fonz, if you're going to be chatting. AK Diley's being cool. Aren't you, AK? Second racks here, so we don't yet see any factory, which is really interesting. Of course, we expect Ego to have a really heavy bioforce, but if he's not going to be grabbing any Hellions or any Widow Mines of any kind, I'm really curious as to what kind of push he's going to make here, probably even in just a couple minutes. If he gets a Tech Lab, we can expect Marauders and him to get Stim or Concussive Shells. I think Concussive Shells would be really interesting. We of course would expect Ego, or I'm sorry, Daddy, to be getting a bunch of Stalkers, as he is. And Daddy's just playing really conservatively. He has a robotics facility with an observer coming out, super standard. But this Twilight Council indicates to me that, excuse me, he's going to probably be grabbing Blink Stalker tech, making some kind of push of his own. And the Reaper goes down. I'm not sure if he actually got that scout off. Yeah, he did see everything he needed to. Twilight Council, the one gate that Daddy has. So Ego, he's going to be moving out here. I actually don't know when. I'm not very familiar with this particular build of Terrans. He's finally grabbing that factory, and it's finishing up now. He has a Stim on the way instead of Concussive Shell. So he's playing a more standard, safe Terran. Stim is actually... I'm going to go with Ego's decision-making on this one and his experience. I'm not sure which one would be better for the kind of build that Ego's going, because again, I haven't really seen this particular one before. I expect him to be really aggressive, though. Then again, he is grabbing a bunch of gas. And Daddy, of course, grabbing his 4 gases, because he's going to be going Stalker heavy here in any moment now. Grabbing that Forge, probably for +1. And more gateways being added, so it's getting closer and closer to the 9-minute mark, and we see the Dark Shrine. Audio issues. Small static. Okay. Let me know if that gets any worse, or how exactly is... Actually, let me go ahead and make an adjustment real quick because I don't want you guys to deal with static. One moment. Static's just terrible. Oof. Alright, you're gonna have to let me know if the sound is okay now. Oh, I'm trying to get this into a good position here. I have a snowball mic. I just don't know how to use it. Ugh. But hopefully you can hear me. I'm going to go ahead and project because I can see the microphone meter move whenever I do that. We have this move out from Ego being the aggressive Terran I expected him to be. Those force fields are entirely necessary. Daddy doesn't have a lot to defend with at this point. He has a few stalkers on, of course, in his main, possibly able to blink down here any moment, but he does not have a lot in the natural, and I'm not sure he could hold if Ego pushes in, as he is doing now. There is that photon overcharge, the Mothership core goes down, and of course, all the sentries will be picked off. Daddy finally moves those 6 extra stalkers down, and he's not exploiting, but he's taking his blink advantage here to try to save some stalkers. He does lose more than half of his force. Natural's going to go down, and a lot of these probes as well. But if we look back at Ego, he does indeed have to deal, or rather contend, with these Dark Templar. If we look at the Workers Lost tab, Daddy's actually in the lead because of his Dark Templar, but of course Ego looks like he's going to clean up Daddy's defensive force. But I'm not sure if he can kill him with only 6 units out here, 2 Marauders and a few Marines. They're awfully well. They have a great health insurance plan, but I'm not sure if it'll be enough. Death is rather incurable, and Daddy does GG out. The Dark Templar did not do enough damage. And that's the first game of this best of 3. I'm sorry for the rough start, y'all. I really do appreciate your patience as we work out the kinks in our first broadcast. Yeah, and Kayla333 in chat is my moderator. She is wonderful. So give her a shout out, or at least appreciate how hard it is to be a moderator of all of 2 people. Let me just check the chat, make sure everyone's doing ready. Hope everyone's doing fine in their matches. No one's reached out to me as yet, so I can only assume that everything is good to go. In fact, if you weren't sure, Kayla333 is behind me, and she's awesome. How's the audio?
It's good for me.
It's good for you? God. But we're going to have the second of this best of 3 match, Ego, and I still haven't adjusted the interface. I'm such a goober. In the upper left, we have our green Protoss player, once again, Daddy from Team or Clan Dargok. And in the bottom right, in the yellow trunks, we have Ego, our Terran from Team RNG. Alrighty, so alrighty. Currently in StarCraft, amongst these players, I'm the only one managing them, so I do apologize that this has to happen right here. Hopefully I can get a volunteer for future events who will be able to handle this, or at least help me. But for now, I will gladly handle this. I love doing this. I'm actually having a lot of fun. I really am. But there we go with the opening barracks, and of course the gateway. It looks like it's going to be pretty similar to the last game, at least so far. I'm curious to see if Ego will be... okay. I'm curious to see if Ego will be doing the same thing. And challenge. If he's going to be as aggressive as last game, if he's going to make that timing push and just do a heck of a lot of damage. Yeah, so pretty standard so far. I have to say that this map is, it can be, at least on the ladder, pretty difficult to deal with. Just there are so many opportunities for her, in particular Protoss, to do cannon rushes and the like. But also Terran, I've noticed, has been more prone to do bunker rushes. Believe I've even seen a couple in some pro matches where they've done bunker rushes, which I haven't seen pros do since basically Wings of Liberty. And yeah, so I'm here comes the Reaper Scout. He's going to be crossing the map here. He's not going to meet a lot of resistance, of course, but there's nothing really for him to find. He's going to be able to confirm, though, and feel safe in the fact that, you know, Daddy is taking that natural. Daddy is... I think there are some Daddy jokes about to come up. But Daddy is going to be busy for a while in his office. That is his natural. See, I'm already doing it. I'm terrible. The Mothership Core is going to... Ooh! Ah! You don't see that much. Ugh. Well, you see it a lot, but it's always brutal. Like, this poor little probe is being murdered by this Reaper that's just, you know, coming along to see things. It's like an American tourist on the Galapagos Islands, killing birds. I'm terrible. If you give me no other constructive criticism tonight, give me constructive criticism on my jokes. I need help. And the Reaper is going to murder another frickin' probe. He's eliminating that bunker, or he canceled that bunker, rather. So I wonder if that's because he knows that he's not going to be facing any aggression from the Protoss player. I would imagine that's the case. But, you know, it's those small little adjustments that, you know, make these players who they are. Like, Ego is making, you know, a risk-reward decision there. He's saying, well, I don't see any aggression coming. I'm safe for the next few minutes. And he's probably not going to build a bunker. And, you know, in this case, obviously, it is probably, you know, worth not building the bunker and building an extra SCV or being able to build that barracks a little bit faster or that factory. Speaking of, has he constructed his factory yet? He's getting the tech lab. But, there are some larger decisions that these players are going to make later on down the line that are just going to basically make or break their game. In the arena of StarCraft, there is no try, there's only do, and if you do the wrong thing, you die. There we go with the proxy Stargate. I feel kind of like a doofus because I didn't spot this a bit earlier, but this is definitely critical. This Oracle is probably actually going to do a little bit of damage. There are no Marines in the main, but there is a turret that's being constructed. It looks like it's going to go up, but not before he does quite a bit of damage. I think he'll even sacrifice that Oracle to do more damage. Yeah, and if we look at the workers lost tab, he lost a total of 9 workers. Or, I'm sorry, yeah. He lost a total of 9 workers to that one Oracle, excuse me. And, it definitely stings, but it's not game-ending by any stretch of the imagination. And with Ego garrisoning his Marines up in his main, and since he has those turrets down, I think he's pretty safe from any further Oracle aggression. That Void Ray and the next probably few Void Rays that are coming out will definitely be more dangerous. No hanky-panky, you two. Yeah. It's not that kind of stream. But with a few more gateways on the way, I wonder if Daddy changed up this build because he expects Ego to do the same thing, and it definitely looks like he is. He got that factory. He's getting the starport now. I think, honestly, it's really surprising to see that you know, a Terran player not getting any kind of Hellion or any kind of Widow Mines, not utilizing that factory except to, you know, build a reactor. Because Ego didn't, I believe he didn't use that factory all game. And of course he's moving out with a very similar force. He's doing the exact same build. And when he moves out, he's going to get a nasty surprise. He's going to have 3 Void Rays. And alright, so we see that Ego is moving out, and Daddy is not going to catch him out in the open. He's going to wait. He's going to attack the main, probably. He's also going to warp in a few Zealots to help. Let me whip this out. Alright, so action's happening. He can wait. So he's definitely going to be able to take out the natural, of course. There's not a lot that Daddy has to defend with. He's going to force field that ramp. That might just save him, but it's not looking good. He definitely needs way more units. He's supply blocked. This might be GG. He needs to do a lot of damage here at Ego's main. He's not going to be able to win in a base race, but then again, he does have these Void Rays. We're going to have to see. He's going to rip right through into the main. He's not going to bother to eliminate the natural entirely. He's just going to press on in, and he'll need to be very careful. Take out that turret. He does force field the turret. That's great. That's great. He prevents Ego from repairing that turret and doing more damage to these Void Rays. These Void Rays are so critical to Daddy's push. Meanwhile, back in Daddy's main, Ego's just knocking down these buildings. This is a bona fide base race, and it's all up to these Void Rays. It's all up to how Daddy engages and ends this battle. He's actually expanded to the 6 o'clock position, and man, actually Ego's going to spot this. I'm afraid to see, you know, whether Daddy's army can actually stand up to Ego. I'm not sure if he could. There's just so many Marines here, they would knock those Void Rays out of the sky, but there are enough force fields here to be dangerous, enough Zealots here to be dangerous, and this Oracle as well will be very effective against Marines, as long as they all hit and take a great, or hit at the same time and take a great engagement. Daddy's still definitely in the running, and Ego is going to run down to the 6 o'clock position. He's still trying to clean things up with his SCVs up at the 12 o'clock, but you know, it all kind of comes down to how this engagement goes down. These Void Rays. I'm waiting. I don't think that Ego's going to engage here. He's going to try to knock down this orbital command. And of course, Ego's still trying to knock things down with his own SCVs. Alrighty. So it seems as if things have been pretty evened out for both of them. He still has this orbital command here, but only 1 Void Ray attacking it. I believe he's not producing anything right now. Not that he really could. He should try to produce probes so he can at least stay in the running. But then again, what do I know? Oh, that factory's going to burn down. And that orbital command is definitely in dire straits, but here comes the engagement. These Zealots are going to run forward. Great force fields. He's going to be able to section off a part of this army and cut it away. And these Void Rays, of course, are trying to get a kill on the medevac. The medevac will escape, and Daddy is just trying to search for a better engagement. Ego actually making a run towards the 6 o'clock position. He's going to be able to take out this base, and Daddy's just going to let him do it. This is definitely getting down to the wire. Neither player has the ability to produce a new town hall building or to even make really even more buildings. Ego is going to get revealed, and Daddy's going to go about trying to hunt him down, but Daddy's just about to be revealed as well. Yep, and there he goes. So it's all about who can kill who faster. And of course, Ego has built this extra supply depot. This Viking even getting down on the ground to try to do more damage. But if he can knock out these last few buildings, he will be good to go. Daddy may actually squeeze this win in. And here are the medevacs. And the Oracles are going to try to engage and knock out as many Marines as they possibly can. That's who they're targeting. That's who they have to target. And it looks like Daddy's going to be able to close this out. GG. And we will be going to the third game. Wonderful. That was a really great game. I wonder who's going to close it out. You know, Ego has proved his mettle in the first game with that timing push, and Daddy, of course, proving that he's not afraid to base race when he needs to do it. So both of these players are going to go down to the wire here in this final game of this best of 3. This is only the first round of this round of 8 tournament, the Sleeping Drone Weekly, week 1. And I hope that the audio is pretty good. Nobody's made any complaints yet about the snowball. So I'm just going to assume that everything's good. I'm ready. Show me the money. Bam. Alright, so while we wait for this to load, I'm actually going to go into... boom. There we go. I'm going to look at the scores so far. It looks like a BioIce actually closed out No Regret 2-0. And John Furnace will defeat Arium and advance. I believe he actually, Arium actually ended up forfeiting, and we had to call that there. Intense will close out Air Pilot, and Intense and John Furnace should be playing right about now. Whoever wins this match between Ego and Daddy SC will be facing BioIce, and should be pretty exciting. So let's go ahead and go back to this screen. Oh, not that screen. This screen. And I'm just going to rock it for this series for completion's sake. But in the upper left, we have our yellow Terran player, Ego. And in the bottom left, we have Daddy, our green Protoss player. So yeah, this is an absolutely massive, massive map. It's actually the one map I can't remember the name of. We have Cactus Valley, we have Infernal Pools, we have Coda LE, we have Echo LE, we have Vanny Research Station, and we have this. Whatever this is. I don't know what this is. Can somebody tell me? I don't know. But at any rate, we should see... it's not surprising to see players go greedy, so I'm expecting that, you know, Terrans, this Terran and Protoss player, they've shown us their timing pushes, they've shown us a little bit of their proxy Stargate from Daddy, which is not legal in many states. But I'm wondering to see if who will play greedy or who will play aggressive, and just because of the size of this map, the sheer size of this map, we might be in for a decently long game, longer than the ones we've seen so far, if for nothing else than the travel time. So, of course, Daddy getting that first gas, getting that one gate, he's probably going to easily expand and do a very similar thing to what he did last game. He's getting that Cybercorp. Yeah, and nothing crazy so far from Ego. He should be building that second barracks here any moment now and getting, of course, that other supply depot unless he decides to go for a more standard build. And Eagle will actually be able to scout out his opponent first. This SEV will be able to cross the map, go down into the bottom left, and spot Daddy. Nothing too scary. If he's fast enough, he may even be able to prevent the natural, but no, the Ego just runs right out of town. This Reaper, however, will be the nuisance that Reapers commonly are. He's going to scout. He's going to probably get down a probe. Ego's been pretty good with his Reaper control. So let's see what happens here. He begins engaging these probes. He begins to hurt two of them. Oh, and immediately the Mothership Core appears, but not before Ego can actually knock out one of Daddy's probes. And of course, here we see the pylon. I wonder if we're going to see another proxy Stargate. He is getting those minerals there. Ego, in the meantime, is expanding into his natural, doing pretty standard Terran stuff, or at least standard for him. He's grabbing that second barracks first before the factory. And there's the Stargate. So Daddy will probably be pumping out some oracles. I doubt it'll be Phoenix. We haven't seen that out of Daddy so far. But we have seen Void Rays, and we certainly have seen oracles. And he's used them quite effectively. And of course that probe scout will go down. So I'm going to go ahead and double check something here. I have about 8 viewers right now. That's wonderful. Hello, everyone. I hope you're having a good time. Please say something in chat if you notice anything wrong with the stream, or you feel as if Sleeping Drone TV can improve. I would love that. And of course, you can follow us at Twitter, Sleeping Drone TV. And yeah, these players are still playing pretty similarly. Nothing that's different from these previous games, or at least the last game so far. Daddy is opening up with Oracle first, and we see +1 coming out of Ego, as well as a turret. I suspect that, I have this sneaking suspicion that Ego has this sneaking suspicion that there's another Stargate play coming out of Daddy. It would make sense. On a map like this, proxy Stargate is probably not all that uncommon. In fact, it's not all that uncommon in standard matches as it is. So he will delay that factory. However, this Oracle is not going to be as effective as last time. The Marines are in just the right position. There is that turret already stationed right in the mineral line of the main, and that Oracle is just basically going to have the door closed in his face. He's not going to be able to put a lot of pressure here on Ego, and Daddy will be forced to get another Oracle, it seems, but also to get more probes, which is really what he wants to do behind this. He wants to do damage, he wants to build probes, and he wants to make more money and get even just a slight edge over his Terran opponent. So we see here the factory, of course, getting that reactor, just as he has in so many games so far. He's getting that third barracks. He's going to swap these two buildings here, and he's going to begin pumping out medevacs. With a map like this, especially with so much, not negative space, but open space between these two mains, I would not be surprised at all if instead of Ego trekking across the map slowly, that he's going to instead make this into a drop. So he still does, of course, have to worry about these two oracles, and he has a Void Ray to worry about coming out soon. Not that he knows, but I'm sure he suspects, since Daddy's playing pretty similarly to how he has been these last few games. And these oracles, of course, going to be closed out, but they do get, they are going to be revealed. What is that? A revelation? That's right. Revelation's going to be placed on these Marines and Marauders here. So he gets free vision. If we look, he gets to see all of them, which is super cool. Even on these supply depots, that's even better. So he is going to begin to move out. Is he going to load up, or is he going to worry about these oracles first? It kind of remains to be seen. He definitely has to worry about these oracles. They're kind of threatening to go into that mineral line, and Daddy's actually kind of pinning Ego's army back from being aggressive. And if we go back here, there are two Void Rays, another one on the way. Concussive Shell has begun for Ego, and these oracles are going to dive in. They're going to try to knock out the Tech Lab, but they're only going to do a little bit of damage. Ooh, they actually snipe one of the SCVs, but they're going to run away. These Marines, or did I say Marines? The SCVs is what he picked off. But these Marines will be able to shut out the oracles again. Ego kind of stuck back in his base. He's not really able to advance with the threat of these oracles moving in to eliminate a bunch of SCVs, because what Ego really needs is to maintain his current economic lead, well, he's actually, I don't feel as if he's quite in the lead right now. It looks like a pretty even game, but he wants to keep it that way. He doesn't want to lose, or rather, he doesn't want to gain a disadvantage. I promise I'm getting better at this. Alright, And we can see that Daddy will actually get a chance to move out this game. Those Oracles did a great job of pinning back Ego's army. Daddy's going to be able to cross part way through the map. He's kind of waiting for everyone to gather up. He's waiting for the Mothership Core. He's also microing those Oracles. Ego, he might try to meet him out away from the natural and allow reinforcements to stream in. In fact, that's what it's looking like. But I don't know. It'll definitely be an interesting fight here. They're really not committing to anything quite yet. The probe's going to, of course, try to get that proxy pylon down. Void Rays, all 4 of them, and including the Zealots that were warped in by the Stargate, they're all going to join together, and they are actually in a great position to threaten the natural if they move in, but then again, they may not want to be crushed in or caught between 2 forces, the reinforcements and this main army of Ego. Ego being prevented from engaging Daddy due to these force fields, but I don't know, this engagement's almost inevitable. Daddy is in a great position to dictate the terms of this engagement, and of course, a little bit of skirmishing. Are they going to move in? They definitely have some force fields. The Mothership Score is going to go down. Daddy has no exit strategy. Ego's going to try to knock out these proxy pylons. His force field's not so great, not pinning Ego in. And it looks like they're gonna have to chase each other. In fact, looks like Daddy's gonna feint back to the proxy pylons, threatening that natural again. In fact, he's gonna go straight for the natural. He says, "There's no point fighting out here. I have the army. I have the advantage. I'm gonna do the damage now." And that's exactly what he's gonna do. He's gonna knock down these 2 turrets. He's gonna move into the natural. He's gonna begin to do a lot of damage here. This engagement is about to happen. Ego kind of in. Killing some Zealots here, engaging the main army, finally, of Daddy. These Void Rays cutting through these Marines, but the Marines knocking him down a little bit too fast. These Zealots not doing a whole lot in the back of the mineral line. They're not engaging. They're not fighting with those Void Rays, and this might be the end of Daddy's army here. Ego will hold, and unfortunately, Daddy didn't do a lot of damage, didn't do enough damage to make that worthwhile. He now has to worry about Ego crossing the map with his relatively small army now, but still Marauder heavy, still so dangerous. And of course, these reinforcements are going to stream across the map. Ego safe now. He's going to move out and take his 3rd. This is when Terran gets really dangerous for Protoss. And Daddy's trying to escape with this 3rd here, but it is spotted. Ego, in fact, not going to bother with the natural. There's too much defending it here. He's going to instead take out the 3rd, continue, or rather keep his advantage in economy. And Daddy's going to try to force an engagement here. Going to try to save his 3rd. Of course, not going to succeed. These force fields preventing escape, but Ego doesn't want to escape. He's going to actually take those sentries, and now all Daddy has to his name is or does he even have the Mothership Core? Yes, but all he has to his name is Zealots, and those Zealots are just going to be stutter step to death here. Daddy has to bleed Ego a little bit, but he's not succeeding in that. So he's going to get a few Archons here. These will be really important, but those Marauders are so dangerous even to Archons. In fact, Ego is just going to cut him straight down. Those Archons did do a little bit of damage to that army, but it's just not enough. And Daddy is probably about to be forced to be tapped out here. The Mothership Core is going to get him. Looks like Daddy is from the EU server, and he will GG out and tap out under the sheer weight of Ego's army. So, as we can see, Ego will win this series 2-1, and we'll be moving on to view the Ego versus BioIce match, which will be stellar. Stay tuned. Enjoy some Overclocked remix tunes. These are all free songs. You can stream them from the ocr.overclockedremix.org website. It's all free. They license it out under fair use, I believe. So definitely give a shout out to them. They're all wonderful artists. In fact, Total Biscuit also has streams them on his content patch. So awesome stuff there too. Anyway, enjoying the tunes. I will be back with the match here very soon. I'm muted. No. Ah, man. I'm sorry about that. I feel so silly. Fix in 3 minutes, guys. Anyway, so just pretend that, you know, I had I don't know, Apollo level of casting there, or Kalaris level of casting. Ego's Reaper aggression is going to be shut down, and with Zergling's speed, Reapers lose map control. They lose map control, and you know, it's pretty terrible for the Reapers. They kind of it's kind of brutal. Oh, even ooh, shit. So, it's a pretty stunning game, guys. It's a pretty stunning game. I'm sure that you heard my suave, sexy voice all throughout that very long 7-minute game. Okay, I'm gonna move on before I embarrass myself further. So this is a best of 3 series. This is the semifinals between BioIce and Ego. BioIce recently won Breakout. Awesome player. I got to see a few of those games. I'm not as familiar with Ego, but I have to say that so far I'm impressed. You know, he's definitely not a pushover. He managed to, you know, defeat Daddy here in the first game of this best of 3. He's going to lose to BioIce. His Reaper, his Bunker Rush Reapers will be shut down. His Reaper aggression just wasn't enough. I'm not even sure it was an all-in. It was just that BioIce had so much. I could be wrong. It could be an all-in. But it didn't look that way because there was a natural expansion there for Ego. So Ego will pick Iron Fortress, and that is awesome. I will go ahead and host that. Iron Fortress. Fortress. Alright. So I'm not going to bore you guys with a loading screen and me hosting a match. I'm sure you're all on the edge of your seats, but you're just going to have to experience some delayed gratification and listen to some more OCR remix tunes. Let me know if you like those. They're free and they are free to stream. Like the creators kind of, they don't care, or they like it, their work being put out there. So let me know if you like it. Maybe even make some suggestions, because you know, this isn't going to be the end of my music repertoire. I hope you enjoy it. Anyways, enjoy it for now. That was actually a super pretty song. I'm sorry to interrupt that. But, of course, we have more important things. StarCraft. and a great semifinals match at that. I'm wondering how Ego's going to follow that up, but first, let's introduce our players and let's introduce our map. So in the bottom left, we have our pink Zerg player. We have in the pink chunks our Zerg player BioIce. Yay! Recently won Breakout. Awesome player. Awesome player. And in the upper right, we have our yellow Terran player who is no pushover. I actually respect the heck out of him. He seems like a good player. Ego. So, yeah, this is Iron Fortress. I'm pretty sure we just got off this map. Send it 8:56 p.m. Alright. Did I really just stick my tongue out? That's so weird. In the bottom left, we have our pink Zerg player who's doing the same thing he did last game. And that worked really well for him, so I don't blame him. However, Ego, doing a very similar thing. I'm not sure if he's going to do the same thing. He definitely has the opportunity to pop down a barracks now, but what I suspect is that he's going to do what he did with Daddy. He's going to actually expand, and he's going to protect that expansion. Iron Fortress is a really large map, especially whenever you have cross spawns. Yeah, basically, it's going to be very hard for BioIce to put any direct pressure on Ego that he can back up. So what that means is if he's going to attack, he has to attack with a large force. He has to attack with a winning force or a force that can be guaranteed to do damage. Otherwise, it'll take him a very long time to rebuild that army and then walk it all the way across the map again. And that can be a real problem, especially for Zerg players in the early game. Zerglings just... they have a long ways to go, and yeah, Speedlings are pretty good, but if he goes on top of his game, he'll see it in time, or he'll be able to defend it in time. And Ego, conversely, he has Medivacs, and drops can be pretty effective whenever you have horizontal or vertical spawns. But in this case, he is grabbing a factory instead of a barracks, so he's going to be doing a more standard Terran build. But those medevacs, if he doesn't want him to be spotted, because there's this central watchtower here. If he doesn't want him to be spotted, he has to avoid this kind of area, because it can basically see everything around here. It'll take him longer to cross with medevacs, unless he boosts. If he boosts, it's a... actually, I think it evens out, even if he boosts. If he boosts around the watchtower, it evens out. I'm not sure. I'd have to... somebody would have to tell me. AK Diley, do you know? Static is back? Ah. Man. How bad is it?
It's you can still hear yourself.
Is it really annoying? Alrighty, let me try something real quick. Alright, how about now? Important stuff's happening. No! I missed it. I'm such a doofus. I shouldn't have tried to troubleshoot my audio issues on stream. We learned the hard way. I hope the static's fixed. Otherwise, it wasn't worth it. It actually still isn't worth it. But I hope I fixed it. I'm sorry, guys. Someone gonna cast it back to me. Here's what I suspect happened. I think that BioIce heard me say, and I'm making this up. I'm totally making this up. Heard me say that it's hard to put direct pressure with non-game winning force across Iron Fortress, and so he sent all of his Zerglings to deny me the satisfaction of being right. That's what I suspect. It probably ended up being that way. The part I made up was that he heard me, because there's no possible way. There's 3 minutes of delay. He didn't have time. It basically happened in 30 seconds. Like, I didn't see the Zerglings spawn because I was talking about Ego, and then while they were crossing the map, right? Yeah. Ugh. I feel so silly. Yeah, I'm ready. I'm gonna just quietly facepalm and give you guys some music. I'm so silly. I have a surprise! I have a surprise. I looked at the wrong screen. I have a surprise. I actually picked the right observer format just for the finals, just for you to make up for my mistakes. This all makes it better. I know you agree. I know I can't hear you. And I won't read the chat for a good 3 minutes on purpose. But I know you agree. So, to introduce our finalists, the people who are duking it out for first place and all of $15. One of them has won $10, but somebody wants an extra $5 in this weekly. In the upper left, on Echo LE, in the blue trunks, we have Intense, our Terran player, our blue Terran player, our wonderful Terran player who we have not covered all tournament. It was a short tournament. It really was. So, I don't know what to make of him. He is a ninja Terran. But, in the bottom right, in the pink trunks, yet again, BioIce, our, well, not our, but a recent winner of Breakout. I believe that was Base Trade TV. AK Diley. AK Diley says, I feel like I was called on in class by the teacher, but I wasn't paying attention. That's exactly how it should feel, actually. You weren't paying attention. Didn't we just do this? Didn't we just experience a bunker rush from Ego? I'm pretty sure we experienced a bunker rush from Ego. And that didn't work out so well. BioIce was pretty on top of it. So, I'm curious to see what will happen here. It's definitely worrisome. I'm gonna cry if I'm still muted. Okay. I wasn't really gonna cry. I was gonna be just shedding manly tears. Oh god. It's just so painful because the Reapers are gonna kill something. They just can stutter step all day long, but they have to avoid everything. So hopefully, oh, the Zerglings are out and they're on creep. So now the drones are safe. Only I believe one drone. Yeah, one drone was killed. One drone. And now there are 2 Reapers, and there's still that bunker. So BioIce is in a little bit of danger. It's not over. That bunker is literally just there to save the Reapers, in case the Zerglings get too close. But now, of course, there's the Queen, and there's going to be another Queen down here on the natural. I don't see this as particularly... I missed this. I'm going to get better, I promise. This is the first weekly. And you know what? I've streamed other tournaments. I'm usually not this bad, but of course the Reapers are going to move in, and the Queen will make an accounting of itself. Bunker is going to be salvaged. Great move by Intense. He did do a little bit of damage. He killed a drone. I believe he even killed a couple of those Zerglings. Now, though, he's going to have to survive. What I suspect is going to happen is a huge rush of Zerglings across the map to kill Intense, which is pretty much what BioIce has been doing every game I've casted of him so far. Ouch, he just launched a bunch of drones there. Oh, he's going to actually catch a couple of Reapers and kill them in a most murderous fashion. And now BioIce is going to run across the map. This is exactly... We've seen this 1,000 times. But this time, Intense does not have this. He does not have his natural. And that actually might make all the difference, if we're fully honest. Because what we're seeing here is... It doesn't show me... Yeah, it's a reactor. There we go. Sorry. Blah. There's a mic in the way of blocking the production tab for me. And Intense is actually going to hold this off pretty handily. There's some Banelings being morphed in right now, and that might be where it gets hairy. But right now, Intense is doing the right thing. The bunker is going to be behind. Ooh, ouch. That Reaper got caught out, and this next Reaper also going to die a terrible death. The Hellions are on the ramp now. Now it can get a little bit hairy. BioIce is going to Baneling bust straight in. Going to start eating into those SCVs. The Hellions actually holding a very nice choke. These Command Centers are SimCity perfectly here. But there are just so many Zerglings. I think this might just be game again. Oh, he needed to avoid that Baneling as basically forever. But he's trying to mule in to get more resources, but it's just too many Zerglings and more on the way. And it is GG. BioIce will actually end the game. Intense won. It looked pretty bad there. I wasn't paying attention to the minimap. I was kind of focusing on the action. But apparently there were no more Zerglings, so Intense actually held that off. I'm such a goober. I swear, I've streamed other tournaments. Though I used to do the Monday Midnight Madness with my brother, and I wasn't nearly this bad. I'll improve. This is the first of many. I'm not going to stop. So I'll be forced to improve, because I like positive feedback. Like everyone! This is getting really awkward and painful for me, so I'm going to go ahead and switch to music before I embarrass myself further. Sorry about this. Here we go. Have fun. Enjoy the music. Until the next match. Or next game. Ha! It had to be this song. This describes... I promise the quality will go up, guys. I promise. I'm so sorry. Yeah, it was a great hold. It didn't... Akidile, you make a good point. It was a good hold. I was just a goober not paying attention. Ugh. This is the perfect song. Ugh. No, we were good there. Thank you. So, we return yet again. It was the perfect song. In the bottom right, we have our blue Terran player, Intense. And that was an intense game. It was so intense, I couldn't accurately cast. I'm such an idiot. Intense did a really good hold there at the end. It looked a lot worse than it was, and I should have known. I have the bird's eye view. Video stutters? I'm not dropping any frames. I think it might be just you. Kayla, you experience any stuttering of videos?
It keeps loading and
Okay.
but so does the audio.
Okay.
So yeah.
There might be an issue with Twitch, because I'm not dropping any frames. Everything seems very smooth to me. But that said, let's start over, because Intense... Let's be honest. Intense deserves respect for that hold. In the bottom right corner, in the blue trunks, we have Intense, our Terran player. Awesome holder of much aggression. In the upper left, we have Bio Eyes, our pink trunked Zerg, who's also pretty intense. He won the breakout recently. I keep repeating that. That's pretty much all I know about him, other than he's a Zerg player and he likes the color pink, apparently. He's going to pop out a bunch of lings really quickly. He didn't even expand. He 10-pooled. This is what he did. He 10-pooled, and it might be a quick game. Let me know if that continues. Can you describe the stuttering? But he's going to cross the map here, and Intense is going to have to defend this. Oh no, the Reaper dies. He wasn't ready. He popped out on the exact wrong side of the barracks, and now Intense is going to have to try to defend this. He's repairing it. It's looking pretty good for him, if we're honest. Because that's basically all he needs. He's even getting command center, and he has a Reaper now to stop this. He needs to repair the supply depot though. Let's not kid ourselves. BIOS is GGing out. It's a best of 3. He's done. He's done. He's done. That's the finals, guys. That was pretty brutal. Bio Ice didn't necessarily cheese the first game, but he Baneling busted, and he lost that. And Intense, he definitely cheesed the second game. What's with the static? I'm so sorry about that. That's my bad. I need to figure out what's doing that. I'll look at the VOD, and I'll figure that out. But Intense will close out the series and win $15. It's a $5 difference, but I appreciate the competitive spirit. Intense won 2-0 against our Zerg favorite here. Any Zerg will be my favorite because I'm a Zerg player. But I definitely enjoyed all these games. I loved casting tonight. The quality of this stream will definitely improve. Thank you everyone who spoke in chat. AK Diley, and I'm banned from this channel. I think we're the two people that talked the most, other than Kayla333. Oh, they might be treating it as a best of 5. Should we let that go? It would make sense for it to be a best of 5. Let me mention it in game. This is awkward. It's supposed to be best of 3. All matches are best of 3, and yeah, that's so weird that the magic is gone. I'm gonna take these things off because they keep fogging up like ever so slightly, enough to be annoying, right? I don't need glasses. They're not real glasses. They're gunners. Am I refereed? Okay. If they want to play best of 5, like